Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Whitney and I run the blog whitwanders.com. I'm excited today to bring you guys a different type of video. I am launching a new series. It's going to be a financial wellness series and it's going to be helping you guys build your personal wealth. But I wanted to film this video to kick off the financial series and explain to you guys why I thought this would be a good series, as well as the building blocks that I'm going to be sharing with you throughout this financial wellness series. So let's get it started, shall we? And again, this series is for everybody, but I really am directing it at my fellow ladies, my fellow queens, because I think one startling fact that I read recently was that on average, women in the United States own a mere 32 cents to every dollar owned by a man. Now, that is just a crazy stat to begin with, but also gives you guys a better idea of how much more proactive we can be in controlling our financing and getting more into the finance and investing world. And the whole point of this series is to just give you those building blocks so that you can craft your own financial plan. So whether you are trying to pay off student loan debt, credit card debt, save for a house, plan for a new baby, you want to set yourself up for success. And so these core building blocks will help you do that. And throughout this series, we'll be delving into each of these core building blocks and presenting them in a way that will be most applicable to you. And I hear a lot from my girlfriends that they find finance intimidating or boring. And honestly, ladies, there's nothing boring about making monies. And that is what I really want to empower you with. I think you probably hear this a lot on my blog, but I really am a big believer that knowledge is power. Let's say that one more time for the people in the back. Knowledge is power. I think you really have to be smart and strategic with your money, and you have to be proactive about the way you're handling it. The only one who's going to make sure that you are set up for success is you. And so we want to make sure that we are giving you those building blocks to make sure that you are making the right moves financially, and so that you can achieve financial freedom and build your personal wealth. So my financial education started when I was really young. I'm lucky enough that my mom taught me the building blocks around savings, budgeting, investing, income, expenses, kind of all of those fundamentals that you really need to build upon to build your own personal wealth. And my mom has always worked in finance. She was a bonds trader, and she just thought it was really important that we understand those fundamentals at a young age so that we could start kind of building up those habits as we went throughout life and started getting jobs and earning money and kind of branching out on our own. And so when I was 10 years old, she opened up a savings account for me. It was at Jam & Savings, and I put $100 of my babysitting money in there to start. And then any money that I got from babysitting or nannying or any odd jobs went into that account. And she was always like, this is for a rainy day, we don't touch this account. And so that was really helpful in terms of kind of establishing planning and long-term goals. And then we would talk about different money goals and money objectives. And so when I got a bit older and I had more knowledge around investing and the stock market, I opened up my first E-Trade account, which is a platform that you can buy and sell stocks on, and bought my first stocks and got into investing that way. And so everything was really kind of trial and error. I learned as I go. But it really gave me an opportunity to really understand how the market worked, how to get involved in investing. And then when I went into corporate America, I was really lucky. I was placed on the Barclays Global Investment Bank account. And part of the requirement of being on this account was I had to take classes in all the assets and liquidities that they were selling so I could understand what we were selling. And so I went to classes on ETFs, mutual funds, bonds, CDs, one of the best educations ever, but I also hit the timing really well as well. So I was able to buy quite a few stocks during the 2008 financial crisis that were priced far lower than they probably would have been. So one of my money goals has always been to own my own home. And I really wanted to own my own home by the time I was 30. And this has always been just a goal of mine. You know, I think it's good to set things in stone and really try to achieve them, because then you're really working for something specific. So from that savings account that I have from 10 years old, with all that money saved up, I was able to buy a bunch of stocks. And then I waited about 2 years, and finally those stocks came back. I had enough for a down payment for a condo in San Francisco. So I was able to achieve my money goal of being able to own my own home by the time I was 30. Now again, this comes with a little bit of luck, a little bit of timing, and making sure that you are financially planning for your future and being proactive. I was really lucky in the sense that I came out of college with no debt. My parents really invested in the 529 college plan for me when I was younger. So there was a lot of privilege in the way that I was able to transition and invest in my personal wealth. So I'm going to be reviewing these 4 financial building blocks with you, but you really need to think about how this is actually going to apply to your finances. So this finance series will cover 4 core building blocks to building your personal wealth. We have savings, budgeting, investments, and income and expenses. So this series is really structured in the way that my mom taught me, and we started first with savings. And making sure that you have savings to cover emergencies, large purchases, and going to your retirement are so incredibly important. And I think a lot of people forget about retirement. It's something that seems really far off, but it's way better to start saving up on the upfront versus scrambling to save when you're older. And because women live longer, it's much better that we start saving right away because we have more years to live, and so we need more money to be able to live on. For savings, we're going to go through all the elements of building your savings, the key buckets that you need to have, as well as the different saving types account. What's a money market? What's a CD? What's a high yield savings account? And how these can all be beneficial. Next is budgeting. Budgets are so important because you need to make sure that you are covering all of your expenses, right? You are paying for rent and food, your cell phone bill, and childcare, and all of these things add up over time, and making sure that you're not wasting away your money on subscriptions or eating out or things that you don't need, and potentially using that money to put away and to be able to leverage into investments later on. Next is investments. So investments, we're going to delve into everything, you guys. We're going to talk about real estate, we're going to talk about stocks, we're going to talk about oil and gold. We're going to talk about cryptocurrency. I am a huge fan of cryptocurrencies. I love Bitcoin and Ethereum and anything having to do with the blockchain. But I just want to preface this right now. Never, ever, ever invest in something you do not understand. It is extremely important that you are investing in things that you feel comfortable with. Every investment has a risk, the risk that you may not get your money back. And so we'll be going through all of these different avenues and channels that you could potentially be investing in and what those returns look like, as well as those timelines. And then last but not least is income and expenses. You have to understand how much you are bringing in and how much you are taking out to be able to craft a plan that will help you build your personal wealth. Your priorities in your 20s, your 30s, your 40s, and your 50s really change. And we want to make sure you guys are building a plan that will be fluid and help you grow and hit those milestones, whether you're saving for a wedding, saving for a house, saving for a baby. All of those things take careful planning. They don't just come together magically. And especially in an environment, an economic environment like we are currently, we want to be proactive. So I want to make sure that you guys follow and do the homework. So I have a financial building block template that I put together that will help you get control of where your money is actually going. You're going to be looking at your income, you're going to be looking at your expenses, and figuring out how much money is coming in each month and how much money is going out. From there, we can really start to craft your savings and budget plan to then ladder you up to make sure that you have the money and the surplus income to start investing and really helping grow your personal wealth. So I'm so excited to kick off this series, you guys. You have no idea. Make sure you like and subscribe to my channel. I will have more content and videos coming soon next week. Next week is all about savings on the blog and the YouTube channel. And again, I'm still gonna have the same fashion and career advice that I always do, but now we're just exploring another part of my life, which is finance and investing. And I cannot wait to the investment block of this series because I get to talk about one of my favorite things, which is cryptocurrency, the blockchain, Bitcoin, Ethereum. I'm a really big believer that the blockchain is the money of the future. And I really think that fiat currency is going away. We've already seen that it's gone away in quite a few countries. And with this economic upheaval that we're having due to COVID-19, I think there's going to be a lot of changes coming soon. And we want to be on the forefront of those changes so we can make good moves, leverage those opportunities, and build our personal wealth. Okay guys, so that's it for this financial series video. This is really just to kick it off. I will have more on the blog as well as a new video next week all about your savings and the ways that you should be bucketing your savings. But make sure you subscribe or like this video. And if you want to come say hi in the meantime, head over to my blog, witwanders.com, or come say hi on Instagram @wit_wanders. And remember guys, knowledge is power. You got this.